I'm back on trail, climbing up out of Unico Gap right now. We're gonna have a couple of pretty big climbs to start the day out, and we'll see where we go from there. Probably looking, hopefully, at either about a 12 or 15 mile day today. It's about 11 o'clock right now, so hitting the trail a little later, but it was nice to sleep in this morning, getting some more good food, taking another shower, get some stuff cleaned up. Man, it feels nice to be back on trail. It's really misty right now. Not really taking any views from this first climb, but we'll see. Might lift a little bit throughout the day. I know we have some warm weather forecasted for the next few days. I think it's going to be 70s, maybe even close to 80 tomorrow. Not sure about up on the mountain, but looking forward to a good few dry days after our last 36 hours on trail, having been soaking wet. Yesterday was a pleasant day to dry out our spirits and yeah, I'm hoping it's going to get pretty on out this way before too long. It's always pretty, don't get me wrong, it's always pretty, even when you can't see any views. Just makes you appreciate how beautiful the trail is. Just got up to the top of Trey Mountain. I'm gonna get on over to Trey Mountain Shelter in about half a mile. I'm gonna grab some water and see if we can push on another 8 to 10. Get on out to Deep Gap Shelter possibly. We have a tent site just past it. I'll kind of make that call in a little bit. I've just been rolling along this little ridge here since coming on over Trey Mountain. It's been nice after having 2,000-foot plus climbs in about 5 or 6 miles to have a couple of miles of, for the most part, leisurely downhill and level undulating trail. But it's just turned out to be a beautiful day. The sun's come out. Birds are chirping. No real other wildlife to speak of. Well, if that is Kelly Knob, we are about to be in for one heck of a climb. This is the last 4,000 footer before getting on out of Georgia tomorrow. So I'm on my way down from Kelly Knob right now. And let me tell you, probably the hardest climb in Georgia, at least in my opinion. Not the most technical, not anything with the best view, but just a climb where you have to just grind. I would say that award goes to Kelly Knob. I guess you could say I'm earning my way out of Georgia. Well, good morning, everybody. Another beautiful sunrise coming up. We're back behind Deep Gap Shelter. Made it down here yesterday evening. Yesterday did 13.1. Gonna try and bust into North Carolina today, and I think we're gonna shoot for about a 17 if possible. Everyone's feeling good. Slept pretty well last night. Looks like it's going to be some beautiful, beautiful weather. A warm day. I mean, it's already warm right now. But just headed to grab some water here. Gonna filter that and get ready to hit the trail. First climb out of camp, greeted by a nice beautiful sunrise. Rolling on. Well, in the last few miles of Georgia now, About to head on into North Carolina. I'm just thinking back on the experience that Georgia has been. It's been a great state. Beautiful trails, beautiful views, beautiful experiences. Well, made it to North Carolina, everybody. What feels good to be back in North Carolina. I just feel like my mountains are already familiar, even though they're the ones I've been looking at all day. Maybe it's a state of mind thing, but it's nice to have Georgia out of the way. It is a tangible chunk of miles. Well, it's been a long day. Walked out of camp to the sunrise and going to be walking into camp soon to the sunset. It's been a beautiful day. We headed to Muskrat Creek Shelter. Nice to be into North Carolina. Well, it sure is a beautiful North Carolina morning. Feels good to be back on trail for the day. No real stopping point for the end of the day today. Guess we'll just kind of see how that goes. Shooting for about 10 miles of some sort. I think we're leaning towards getting to camp a little bit earlier, taking our time today. Trying to figure out the game plan for when we get a little bit closer up to Nantahala and the Smokies. Trying to figure out a workaround. Might have to come back and hit those. Might be running into Franklin at some point in the next day or so. Need to figure out. Here they have some shuttles and hotels and restaurants and everything's closed down there, so we'll just have to see. Well guys, it surely has been a beautiful day. Just got up and over standing Indian Mountain, heading on down into the gap where we're going to stay for tonight. Had a good lunch today. Stopped in, I guess what was Deep Gap, a different Deep Gap than the one in Georgia. This is North Carolina's Deep Gap. But stopped, had a good lunch, a peanut butter and pepperoni wrap with, what else did I eat? I had some beef jerky and just some other snacks of some sort. But feeling good. Feeling really good. Absolutely beautiful day. Have some good, beautiful views. Looking forward to getting on into camp and getting kind of settled and enjoying a few hours tonight. So just got to camp for the night just a little bit ago. 12.5 today. We made it to Carter's Gap. Not staying at the shelter, just staying at some campsites that are actually over near the old shelter site from the shelter that was here. I'm not sure exactly the history, but there's a new shelter that's been built that's just kind of slightly north on the trail and on the opposite side of the trail. But anyway, just grabbed some water, about to head on up. We have a fire going, gonna get ready to see about making some dinner. And then we're gonna work on plans. We're gonna look at the news and we're going to figure out what next steps are going to be for us to hopefully be able to continue on with our thru hike. Definitely see that we're gonna have to skip the Smokies. And then I actually just got an update from a former thru hiker that sent me an update about a bunch of closures throughout North Carolina. So we're gonna have a few considerations on our hands, but we're doing everything we can to stay on trail. We all feel great out here. The people that we run into every day are incredibly optimistic, ranging from 18-year-olds to 70-year-olds. Everyone's out here doing their thing. They feel safer out here on the trail than they do in society. They've done everything they could to get to this point in their lives, and now they're doing what they can to feel self-actualized. And quite frankly, I think that's what we're all doing here. Well, good morning, guys. Just got through a nice early morning thunderstorm. Broke camp today around first light. Trying to get on up to climbing Albert Mountain here in just a little bit. Gonna get to the 100-mile mark. Gonna get to the fire tower. Hopefully these storms are gonna pass on through a little bit, but wind is fairly gnarly right now, as you can probably hear, along with some torrential downpours and some thunder and lightning. 30% chance of rain, but I'm 100% wet. It is going to be getting a little cooler tonight. We're getting down into the 30s. As of about 5 minutes ago, I officially have 2 wet pairs of underwear and 2 wet pairs of socks. So it looks like tomorrow morning might not be the most comfortable of times when it comes to getting ready. Well, it's actually turning out to be a pretty beautiful day. Had a lot of good wind after that rain shower moved on through, so it kind of dried me out a little bit. My shoes and socks are drying out decently. I just stopped and grabbed some water here. We're climbing on up to get to the fire tower here, and a little over a mile probably. And hoping to hang out there for a little bit. Sun's out, so maybe dry some stuff out if we need to, and keep on trucking. Well, you guys probably can't see it too well, but right in there is the tower that we're about to be headed to. Mile 99.7. So, we'll call it 100. So just had an awesome little lunch there at the fire tower on top of Albert Mountain. Super windy, but it was good. My shirt, everything I was wearing kind of dried out a good bit. And we're headed on down. We have a couple shelters we can potentially hit on the way out. I think if we can make it to the second shelter, that's going to put us at a Nero tomorrow. We'll have about 4 miles to get on into Franklin, do a resupply, and figure out exactly what next moves are going to be from there. What is up, guys? So in beautiful Franklin right now, we're at Walmart, did a little bit of a resupply. Have my battery bank charging over here. I'm getting some resupply action, getting everything packed up. So we're going to, the plan right now is to push for another 4 days. We're going to hop back on trail, and we're going to push from essentially Winding Stair Gap is where we'll be at the end of the day today. And we're going to push on through and go to the NOC. And we're going to hop off at the NOC. We have someone already lined up to shuttle us on around, get past the Smokies, and then we're going to hop back on trail. And we're just going to hope for the best. And as long as we can continue to hike and be on trail legally, we're going to continue to do so. Back on trail. Successful Franklin resupply. Stayed at Rock Gap last night, so we got picked up there this morning, shuttled into town, and we got a shuttle right back out. It feels good to be back out. It's a beautiful day. My pack's a little heavy. You can hear me huffing and puffing. Came up a decent climb right there, and now I'm listening to some owls hooting in the middle of the day, along with some coyotes last night and owls last night. So a little more lively wildlife in the last 12 to 24 hours. Well, back on trail this morning. Rained a little bit overnight last night. Not too bad, more or less just a drizzle. A little bit of a drizzle now as well. I'm not sure if the skies are going to open up today. Probably should have checked the weather, but at least for now, it just looks like it's a pretty much just a gray, cloudy day. Well, guys, made it up to Bald. Pretty neat. It's raining. We probably could, if it was a beautiful day, I would definitely plop my sit pad down right here. Maybe go up there, have some lunch, but it's still coming down. So we're gonna keep trucking, and if the rain lightens up a little bit, we'll see about grabbing some lunch in the next hour or so. Quick update. It's sleeting right now. Don't know if you can see it, but got a bunch of little rice-sized grains of sleet coming down out of the sky. Had been rain, pretty much a combination of rain and sleet, and at least for the time being, this is mainly sleet. I'd rather have that than rain, to be honest. It's not in the 30s, it's in the 40s, so not freezing rain or anything. I guess it's just cool enough up above. Well, it's turned out to be actually a pretty nice little day. Stopped at Hiawassee shelter, about a mile past Hiawassee itself, and had a little bit of lunch. Happened to find a patch of sunlight that we could sit in and kind of dried our toes off a little bit, and had a good little lunch, and sun dipped behind the clouds and started getting cold again. So time to hit the trail. We just passed Lick Log Gap a little while back there, and shooting for Cold Spring shelter. Not staying in the shelter. We haven't stayed in any shelters since we've been on the trail, and we have no intention of doing so. Usually that's just a good mile marker. Usually there's going to be a water source nearby, and usually they're going to be tent sites as well. So that's where we usually shoot for shelters in that regard. Really don't even use the privies if we can help it. Right now we're keeping to ourselves as best we can. Same group since day one, and we're all feeling healthy and well. Well, woke up to a little bit of a winter wonderland this morning. Definitely in the 20s, maybe below the 20s, I'm not sure. Stayed warm. Didn't expect to wake up to this, and frozen shoelaces were fun this morning. Well, broke camp in our first snow of the AT. April 1st. Thought it was April Fool's joke. I'm just kidding. But I'm fully layered up this morning. Leggings, rain pants. Top wise, I have long sleeve base layer. My Capilene zip. Have on my puffy. Have on my gloves. And my beanie. Have on this beard that's growing in. It's helping me out a little bit. But it's just a beautiful trail this morning. gonna make it to the NOC by the end of the day. I'm gonna get picked up, get shuttled around the Smokies, and we'll be ready to take her from there. Looks like we have a little bit of white tunnel action going on this morning. Getting miles becomes pretty visceral when you know that you had been up along this ridge through here, coming through the snow, dropping down into the gap, and then working the way on up and around here and continuing on. It's just nice to be able to physically see your miles at work. Well, made it up here to Westerwald. Climbed about 800 feet, so we're back up into some snow and frost territory. Evidently the mountains are somewhere out that way. And this poor little tree, it decided it was going to try to bloom and blossom, and fortunately, snow got the best of it. Just had a pretty solid lunch sitting outside of Westerwald shelter. Had a good tuna wrap, some beef jerky, some cheese sticks, several handfuls of Sour Patch Kids. Whoop. Just have a couple of miles left. I think maybe 3 miles, 4 till we get to the NOC. We're about to get picked up at the NOC and get shuttled on around the Smokies, and hopefully we'll be able to get a hotel tonight. Haven't showered, washed clothes, anything like that in 7 days now, so feeling good though, feeling clean. Clothes aren't that bad. Did have a couple of warm days where we sweated a good bit, a couple of 80-degree days earlier last week, kind of over the weekend, but as we've seen, it's been a little chilly. Not much sweat production going on right now, but looking forward to a bed, looking forward to some clean clothes, and looking forward to hopefully hitting some sections of trail with no roadblocks, literally or figuratively. Walking along a little bit of a spine right here. Not much wiggle room on either side of the trail, but surrounded by pretty much a 360 view. So we're coming on down right now, about to get to the NOC in probably 3/4 of a mile or so. Kind of an easy day. We've strolled along. It's been absolutely beautiful. It's been a beautiful 0 here in Newport, Tennessee. Absolutely gorgeous day today. It's probably in the 40s or the 50s out there. It's just been stunning to sit outside, be in the sun, dry some gear out, hang out, talk. We got some steaks on the grill, some pork loin, we have some salad. I guess we're gonna grub down. Oh, we got some corn too, so